Welcome, everybody. Um, I am very honored to digitally be here to speak to you about the Lucille Werner Foundation and the roadmap to work. This was a really good way to tell you something in basis about the foundation and what it does in the Netherlands and why and how we change the world. Nienke is there present today with you to make a physical appearance as the foundation. And I'm very proud to introduce her as my replacement in the job as project manager work at the Lucille Werner Foundation. First of all, I'd like to talk about what we are going to address today, which is at first the mission of the foundation, basically what want we accomplish in the near future. Second of all, I'd like to talk about why we do what we do. I find why a very important subject. It's the basis of all roadmaps we have in life, in your own, in the one of our organization as the foundation, but also in corporate organizations, the why is the most important part in general. Okay, next, after why, I will talk a bit about the history of the foundation, which is important too, how it came to life, and how it came to the point where it is right now. After that, I'm going to speak about how we do it, basically the main focus themes in our goal connected to the mission I talked about in the beginning. And after that, I will talk about what we do, what kind of initiatives are there, a little bit more about the content of that. And then we will round up and end this presentation. And you will all be able to ask Nienke some questions or save your questions for a later time. First of all, I want to speak to you guys about a bit of introduction about who I am. Of course, that's hard to do when I'm not really physically there. I'm speaking to you guys from Delft, the Netherlands right now. It's Friday. That's my day off, but I am really passionate to tell you guys about what we do. So I gladly make some time to do that. Who am I? Well, at the moment, I am a project manager at the Microsoft Netherlands, but I used to work at the Lucille Werner Foundation for 2 years in the job that Nienke has right now. My line of work right now is innovation, and innovation is a subject that touches communication, marketing, change management, and company culture. So I'm still involved in changing a world. It's a corporate one right now, but I use my experience in diversity as well, and in Microsoft, which is one of the partners of the foundation, which I will talk about later, is a company that finds diversity really important in the new strategy of the company. So I combine my corporate experience and my corporate work with the advisorship I have for the foundation as well. You see our social media on the right as well. Some of them are in Dutch. I surely know that you can translate the website in English. The other channels are less easy to translate or to change to English, but you can also still ask some questions today, but ask questions later on, physically, telephone, digitally, anyway. My passion did not occur in an instance. In 2007, I suffered from an hereditary eye disease, which caused my optical nerve to die for a great matter, which left me with about 10% of eyesight at the moment. That was really a big change in my life. It was a tipping point. So it changed my perspective on life. It gave me another challenge, but also a great drive. So apart from the fact that I'm professionally involved in the things we do as a foundation, I'm also personally involved because I know how it is to struggle with finding a job, with finding people who believe in your talent and not in the way you are challenged by your disability. And I recommend people to start empowering themselves as well. And that is something I can really address at events we have, and I did in the past as well. And it's a very, very important core focus in our way we label ourselves, but also how we label people with a disability. We believe that talent is important, and it doesn't really matter if you have a disability, because we all have disabilities. I always say a lot of my friends have non-visible disabilities, and they still have to struggle in some parts of their life. But we don't really look at that disability in that perspective we do with people with a physical or a psychological disability. So that's a bit about me. First of all, why the mission? The mission is a very important core focus because what do you want to do? What we want to accomplish? We want to contribute to the image of people with a disability, to improve that. And there's a spelling fault in this page. Image is imago. Imago is the Dutch version of image. I left that one in because this PowerPoint was made by someone who is really suffering from dyslexia. And he's a guy that is really talented in the concepts, in the editorial qualities, but he makes some faults in the spelling. So that's a really good example of how people have talent, but they have to roll with that in a different way. So our mission, change that image, change the image people have, because people with a disability just have talent, and it's actually not that hard to change that as an individual, but it's more or less of a big challenge in society. Okay, how did we get here? What is basically the why? Why do we do the things we do? In the Netherlands, about 1.2 million people are daily faced by the challenges of a disability. That's a really big amount. That's about 8% of the whole population. So everybody will run into someone with a disability now or later in life. And to take myself as an example, you can get it yourself. At some point in your life, you can run into a handicap or a disability, whatever you want to call it, yourself. I was a young man and I wasn't thinking about disabilities, but all of a sudden I got one. It can happen to you guys too. It can happen to all of us. So these 1.2 million people are challenged by this. And hold on, what happens when I change this one? 1.2 million people, 740,000 people in the Netherlands are partially or totally not employed because they have a disability or suffer from the indirect effects of that disability. That's a huge amount of people. There are a lot of football stadiums full of people who are not able to do what they want to do, to follow their passion, their dreams. And from those 740,000 people, only 12,000 a year stream out of this social security system. So only 12,000 start a new job every year. Compared to the regular non-employed people, which are about 600K a year in the Netherlands. From those 600K people, about 600,000 as well stream out of paid jobs every year. So that's a bigger change. But this area we really need to accomplish a change because these people are able to be motivated and they want a job. But because nearly nobody wants to be at home and to not be useful, to not have a personal growth in their life. Well, the Lucille Werner Foundation tries to change that and tries to give these people empowerment, and that is basically why we do it. And we want to mobilize and activate and inspire 10,000 people extra above these 12,000 I named earlier. We want to help them get job ready, to give them the skill sets to be able to start a new life. The beginning, it's also good to have a little bit of history. How it all began. Well, at first there was Lucille Werner. Lucille Werner is somebody you probably don't really know. She's very famous in the Netherlands for her show Lingo, which is a game show in the Netherlands which played for 25 years, and she hosted it for 9 years. She has a different show right now, and I will not talk about her whole showbiz career or whatever. But she was really the foundation of a new movement, because Lucille is the only Dutch TV host with a visible disability on Dutch television. Lucille has an impairment on one of her legs because of some complications at birth, and she is a person that is really driven to get dreams and to make goals out of that and to do what you are willing to do, what you want to do. Because Lucille was someone who got labeled as well. And in her early years, people told her, Lucille, why don't you just become a secretary and put your legs underneath the desk and just have a normal, regular day job? But that wasn't for her. She wanted to be a singer. Well, and eventually she didn't become a singer, but she became a Dutch TV host. And that is exceptional. And we are not saying that people have to become a TV host. But we are saying that people have to follow their dreams, have to be able to do what they want to do. So what did she do? Lucille hosted the Miss election, which is a really funny word joke in Dutch, but I can't really explain it to you guys. Or maybe we have to have some more time. Or Nika can try to explain that to you guys later. The Miss election was an election for girls with a disability, a visible disability. So that was shocking Dutch television. Everybody was shocked and stunned with actually these beautiful girls who missed an arm or a leg or had some other disability. And it really got like national news. And Lucille was really shocked about that, and she started this philosophical discussion with herself, like, if there are so many people who look at this in this way, shouldn't we make this the start of a new world, of a new the Netherlands? And that's why she said there's so much work in diversity for people with a disability. I am going to investigate if I can start a foundation. And that's now 10 years ago. After that Miss Verkiezing in Dutch, she had a couple of different other shows, which are Cap Awards and Cappies. We will not go deeply into that content, but those are shows which give awards to the talent of people with a disability. Really, really nice shows as well. You can watch them probably on online. Cap Awards and Cappies, you can ask us later if you want to watch one of those. I think they're subtitled as well. Good. Okay, how do we do it? Because these are like, the foundation, or like the mission of the foundation, and I want to tap into the area work with you guys. First of all, I want to look at the part in which we empower people. Because earlier on in this presentation, I said empowering people is one of the key perspectives to start a different life. Empowering people is what we do. That's basically like the basis, the foundation. And after that, we do different things. We have inspirational events. We have a lot of them going on, and we had a couple of them last year which were really successful. These are to inspire, to activate, to mobilize people to get off that couch, figuratively speaking, and to start their new life and to grasp that moment. So that's an event we organize. Next to that, and in combination with that, we do online training on a platform in empowerment, skill set enhancement. On the other side, we discovered that offline training is very important as well. So that offline training is something we do aside. And of course, next to that offline empowerment training, we also have foundation evangelism. And evangelism is a big word, but it's actually another way of life we want to show people. And these foundation evangelists, like the ambassadors of the foundation, they have a disability, but they talk in possibilities and they talk about their challenges, but they talk about that in a positive way. And they tell you, for example, in a workshop or a TED Talk kind of speech, they tell people, business, people with talent who want to go and find a job they want. They tell them about what they found in their challenges and how they thought in possibilities. For example, one of our ambassadors is a girl who became a lawyer at age 30, and she has a disability as well. Somebody who fought for what she wanted. An important other thing is empowering business. We have two sides. We empower the people, which are really the people who have to get empowered themselves to search that future. But on the other side, we want to empower business as well. And to empower business, we have a lot of partners, like multinationals in the Netherlands, who support diversity and support the way the foundation enhances this way of using diversity. A few quick examples of the companies who do that. Of course, Microsoft, where I work at myself, are companies that work with us together. For example, what do we do with companies we work together with? On one hand, we give workshops, and those are really like tailor-made. It depends on the need of the company. This can be something that they want to have more carriage for the subject. They want to have people inspired with diversity. It can be a workshop on what kind of talents is there among people with a disability. All different sorts of. We did that at Microsoft. We did that at PwC. We did that at a lot of companies. Second of all, we give workshops more on the meet and greet kind of side. For example, at Microsoft, we had a meet and greet with Microsofties and people with a disability as well. So they met each other. And it's so funny to see that people actually are a bit scared at first to meet somebody with a disability. That's something crazy. But it is our daily reality. And that is something which is the basis of a change. When people meet somebody with a disability and they literally say, they come up to me and say, Bob, these are actually kind of normal people. These are actually people with talent and passion and driven. And I say, of course. What did you think? And that is the start of a change. Well, of course, webinars. Webinars are the ones we do, for example, with you guys today as well. And webinars are important because you can reach a lot of people from a distance, and they can easily watch the webinar as well, like you guys do right now. And I can easily speak to you guys at a moment which is suitable for me, and I can still deliver the message I want to, and to tell you how passionate I am about the fact that you guys are here today as well. So I want to thank you for that as well in between. And of course, sharing knowledge and experience, which is really important, sharing knowledge and experience. Because knowledge and experience are things business has, but we have that as well. And it is very important to share those different perspectives because together we're strong. In the past, we were all a bit on our own islands and developing different kind of projects in the diversity area, but we are collaborating even more, and we try to um, have subsidiary services together, so we can help people with a disability and companies together to make the most and the best out of now. Well, a different and an important area as well is, what do we do then? Well, for example, we named a couple of things which are like key targets we have in the how part. I had in the slide before. For example, CAP 100 is a very important project. We founded in 2009, which involves the online training, involves your offline training and events we organize. For example, it's too short amount of time to talk about that, but Nienke can talk to you about that and tell more about that project. But it basically founds everything that we do for empowering people, but also making the connection between companies, like the multinationals I named earlier, and to make that connection and to start differences in that. For example, CAP 100 online training, which is a very important part. We believe that online training can reach a lot of people. You have to combine it with offline training and events, but the online training is really important because people can get knowledge and skill sets about how they empower themselves, how they set goals, how they dream and make a goal out of that, but also give each other feedback on assignments. So they also can interact on a forum and interact with each other on the subject, because we learn from experience that people can share their stories and they can learn about getting a new job together. For example, you have candidates who want to find a job and they find it hard how to communicate and to present their disability to a new employer. For example, an assessment or in a job interview, and they can share their stories and their good experiences in that, or their bad experiences, and yeah, make a change in how they communicate about themselves, because focusing on their talent is something they have to learn as well. Third, well, the events we organize. We organize different events in different sizes, 50 people, 100 people, big with companies and talent with a handicap, with disabilities, where they can follow workshops, where our foundation evangelists give them lectures or tell them about their experiences, but also where they meet each other, or where they hear the story of Lucille herself. And we combine that with organizations in the area. For example, we did that in a couple of cities in the Netherlands. We combine it with organizations that work on the subject as well. So we combine our forces to organize events in that perspective. Well, guys, thank you for your listening and for sharing this story together. I hope you had some basic information about what the foundation does, and you can always ask us questions. Nienke is there with you present today. I am not, but I'm also eager to answer your questions. You can always send me a message with my name and your question to the email address, which is on this page right now. And I will answer it as soon as possible in what way I can, because I just love changing the world, love making a difference. And I think with people like you and with all the individuals in the world, it's the only way. If we change our behavior, we can change the culture we have around diversity. So thank you a lot again for today, and I hope meeting you or one another in the near future. So have a great day, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.